Before we really dig into Power BI, I just thought it might be worth thinking about and really considering where we have come from and where we're going in terms of reporting to intelligence. And as I look through really the last 26 years of my career, I can see how reporting has really shifted. We've gone from static reports. I remember my first position, we had, the green bar, wide green bar paper. We had a dot matrix printer that actually sat inside of a cabinet. It was probably the size of a desk. It had, foam insulation around it to avoid the noise, and it's spit out paper reports almost endlessly all day long. And really, those types of reports were well, they were operational reports. They really told you a lot of things, but it was a tremendous amount of data that sat in those reports. So when we start and consider reports, data really is key. And there's so many different evolutions that have happened even when we consider data. Again, I started with a btrieve database. Maybe some people started with ctree databases. Maybe it was a Sybase, that sort of thing. We evolved into SQL Server from a Microsoft perspective. Oracle came on the scenes. Today we talk about Azure Data Lakes and really new ways of thinking about data management, but it still is really data at the key. We talked about really static reports, and those green bar papers was really what happened. We analyzed and read through and really combed through a tremendous amount of data, and it was really looking in the rearview mirror, if you will. Production reporting, what sort of quality analysis did we have? What defects did we have from the previous day? What was the output of our work center? Those are all the things that we really considered through those static reports. And it was a very manual process. We generated a tremendous amount of paper. I remember photocopying pages and pages and pages of quality data for engineering team, and I would distribute that 3 times a week. It was a very manual process, and it was really, again, looking more in the rearview mirror. Then we started really talking about interactive dashboard reports and thinking about why did it happen. And really, this is the advent of Power BI. There's other tools that do that, but we're going to look at it from a Power BI perspective. And what this really allows us to do is to summarize the data in such a way that I may be looking at charts and graphs and slicers and that sort of thing. But I can start doing some analysis. So again, in the old days, it would be people would come to my desk. They'd say, hey, can you run this element, this report for me? It might take me 2-3 days to put the report together, chunk through the data, actually get something presentable to the end users. That's not what we're looking at or thinking about as we think about interactive dashboards. What we're doing there is really identifying, let's say, slicers or components of the data that I would want to review. We present a dashboard in such a way that it allows the user in an interactive way to analyze the data and what they want in a way that they would want to. And again, getting to a decision point there. The next thing that's really sitting in front of us today is predictions, what will happen. And being able to actually create models or leveraging tools, again, like Power BI to do some in-depth analysis for us, to do some what-if prediction analysis. Microsoft provides some services around machine learning that could also aid in this process. But as we think about really still leveraging that same data, moving from static reports to interactive dashboards to really some predictive analysis that can be accomplished today.